Hello, this is Alec Bermania, Product Manager for Lennox Commercial Controls. I'm here today to talk to you about the Lennox Core Control System. The Core Control System features the innovative Lennox Core Unit Controller and the revolutionary Lennox Core Service app. The Core Service app provides intuitive setup, real-time data readout, and enhanced test functionalities, reducing service costs and creating a connected service experience. The Core Unit Controller openly integrates with multiple control types, extends unit lifetime by reliably operating system components, and implements algorithms that optimize efficiency, creating ideal space conditions with ease. Let's take a closer look at the Lennox Core Control System and the Lennox Core Service app.
The Core Control System emphasizes four main benefits: connected service, open integration, reliable performance, and efficiency optimization. I'm going to use this time today to help you understand each of these benefits in detail. Let's take a deeper dive into the different components of the system. The Core Control System consists of the Core Unit Controller as well as the Core Service app. We'll focus on each of these components and how they work together with Model L RTUs. Looking closer at the Core Unit Controller, there are three boards of interest. First of all, the main board, or what we call the M4, is responsible for running the mechanical parts of the Model L RTU. On top of the M4 is the wireless board, or what we call the W4 board. This board is responsible for control of the many new wireless functionalities available on this RTU. Finally, the expansion card, or C4, is responsible for running the extra mechanical equipment on the 13-ton and larger RTUs. You'll notice that the C4 card closely resembles the C3 card on the current controls platform with Prodigy 2.0, but features some of the new connectors. Let's break down the different features of the M4 and W4 controllers that you just saw. We have modified the existing factory connectors so that they are easier to connect correctly. They are now keyed and color-coded. This makes it easier for the factory to get wiring right the first time, but also prevents miswiring when service is done on components in the field. We won't dive into it today, but the new wiring system available with the Core Unit Controller enables simpler and easier wiring diagrams as well. Next, the USB port is now located on the W4 board that you just saw. It is used for firmware updates, system logging, and configuration, save, and restore functionalities. Just like Prodigy 2.0, users can save and move configurations using a USB to quickly deploy multiple similar units. It's also available on the brand new mobile app. The Core Unit Controller, in addition to the app interface that you'll see a little bit later, focuses and features a local interface for troubleshooting and testing. We will talk more about this functionality later as well. The W4 board supports both Bacnet IP and Bacnet MSTP through the built-in Ethernet and screw terminal connectors that you see here. Adoption of building management systems for monitoring and saving energy is in a constant upward trend in our market today. This makes Core more flexible and now allows direct connect to IP networks similar to our VRF platform. The Core Unit Controller also features the SmartWire system as available in prior control boards, which allows for easy and simple install of field components such as sensors. You'll notice that these are similar, but there are a few more new inputs. Finally, the Modbus connector on board allows the unit controller to talk to communicating RTU smart components, such as the inverter board for the compressor, the blower, or VFD, and any ignition control boards available on gas units. Smart components allow for clear error recognition and more efficient operation of the RTU. Now, one of the most innovative parts of the Core Control System is the built-in wireless features. Let's take a closer look. Four main pieces make up the Core Control System's wireless architecture. The first is the wireless gateway. This gateway is an antenna that is strategically mounted to allow reliable connection to the mobile service app, as well as any optional wireless sensors and/or repeaters. The Core Service app allows for simple and quick install of the RTU. Optional wireless sensors reduce install times and costs and work without any extra hardware on Model L RTUs. Finally, the core control system is also capable of reaching out via the internet to download new firmware images to keep the system up to date. The system is also updatable via USB, just like in prior generations. I'm going to take each one of these pieces of the wireless architecture and walk through them in detail with you today. First, let's talk about the built-in wireless gateway. This is a plenum-rated Bluetooth low-energy antenna that is used to boost the wireless signal from the core unit controller to both the service app and any equipped wireless sensors in your system. It is strategically placed in the return section of the RTU so that it can be used in both horizontal and vertical discharge applications without taking too much loss from the thick roofing materials that are typically present in many commercial roofs. It connects to the W4 controller with a coaxial cable that is wired in the RTU. Resembles a hockey puck when viewing it from the return section. Next, let's spend some time talking about the core service app. As mentioned, this talks to the core unit controller via the wireless gateway. The app is paired via a simple button press on the W4 and is utilized to speed up all of the traditional install, service, and maintenance procedures of the RTU. It's worth mentioning that this can be done without an internet connection on sites that are under construction or just out there. The app uses Bluetooth technology to communicate, similar to the many devices you're familiar with using today with your smartphone. Let's watch a demo of the new core service app and a few of the functionalities that are available.
Hi, I'm here at Lennox PD&R Lab today to show you a little bit more about the Lennox Core Service app. Using the Lennox Core Service app is simple. Simply download and install the app onto your phone or tablet and start the app. The app connects to any Model L unit through one press of a button. Let me show you. The unit is shown directly on the screen, and through one press of a button, I am connected to the app. The name and unit details shown allow you to confirm that the unit serves the correct space.
Pairing is very easy to the core service app to Model L RTUs. Let's take a look at the brand new guided setup and how that works.
Guided setup with progress indicators, detailed help, and exportable summaries drive simple and trouble-free setup, reducing commissioning times over similar systems. Whether you're doing unit installation, test and balance, or network setup, the core service app will be there to guide you.
That shows just how easy pairing and setting up the controller can be. I'm sure many of you have done this in the field, but simply changing the time and date on some controllers is difficult. With Core, one click of the button and the phone's time is sent directly to the controller. One of the new features available in the Core Service app is the real-time data trending. The app is capable of trending select sensors and allows you to watch these values in real time. This is very useful in cases such as testing for a delta T, for example. A huge advantage of using a mobile device is the connectivity to other services. Simply by touching the share button on the top right, as we can see on the screen, we can share our trend with others or store it for later reference. As mentioned, Core is capable of updating data to the app in real time. No more returning to the control panel of the unit to check a system mode or a sensor value while you're working on the unit. No more up or down on ladders if the unit is on a tall curb. Here, we see some of the data screens, as well as an example output of the brand new diagnostic sensors and calculated superheat and subcooling values available directly on the app while you're working on a unit. On top of that, the core unit controller stores 14 days of logs, which can be exported at any time from the phone or via a USB drive. In the past, we've had to send technicians to the store to buy a USB drive, then wait a few more days to understand a potential unit operational problem. That is no more. The Core Service app is already making clear how revolutionary it will be to those in the industry. It took a finalist award in this year's AHR Innovation Awards in the software category. Winners are selected by a panel of third-party ASHRAE member judges who evaluate all awards and entries based on innovative design, creativity, application, value, and market impact. While we could not hold or attend the AHR show this year, we look forward to it being highlighted in 2022. We can't wait for all of you to get your hands on this app and take it for a spin. That wraps up some of the many exciting features available in the mobile app. Returning to our wireless ecosystem, we move to the wireless room sensors. These are capable of wirelessly connecting to the core unit controller and are simple to install using the service app. An optional repeater is available which can boost signal from the RTU if needed. Sensors can be moved within their range, reducing rewiring costs. Taking a closer look at the sensor, it has a front-mounted override button, a pairing button, a battery indicator, and a communication status indicator. For the first SKU available in this line, it will have temperature and relative humidity built directly into the sensor. This sensor can be powered by either 24 volts AC or 4 AA batteries. On battery, the typical estimated life is just over 2 years. The sensor is capable of also working via S-Bus, so that one SKU can be used in a multitude of ways on one site. An end-set locking hex screw prevents access in environments such as schools. Overall, this sensor fits many of our common applications in the commercial field. I look forward to seeing and hearing about the innovative ways that these are applied. Now we just took a look at the sensor. Let's see how these are used in a network. Up to 5 sensors and 5 repeaters can be attached to each RTU. Sensors will automatically average and send their sensor values to the RTU. The self-healing mesh ensures the devices that fall offline do not impact system operation of other sensors and repeaters that are still connected. Taking a closer look at how these are applied, sensors are installed into the space. They are capable of communicating to an optional repeater, which will provide more range if needed. Maybe you have a 2-story building or something taller. The repeater could be placed in the space or a mechanical room within range of these sensors. All of these devices communicate via that hockey puck or that wireless antenna that I mentioned, which is connected to the core unit controller. Before we wrap up with the wireless architecture, I'd like to talk a little bit about security. We live in a rapidly changing world nowadays. Having a secure wireless system is key to our customers and to our organization. Core has been designed from the ground up for secure operation, featuring brand new encryption, firmware validation, and authentication features. We've got plenty of information on this available in documents that are available today. Contact us if those are needed. We'll provide some of them with the deliverables once this unit launches. Now, one of the letters in Core stands for open integration. Open integration is a key part of Lennox's strategy to work with customers on integrating with the customer's choice of controls. Core is a leading example of that effort. Let's take a closer look.
The Lennox Core Unit Controller comes with both Bacnet IP and Bacnet MSTP standard. New objects and alarms make the Core Unit Controller's Bacnet offering the most powerful Lennox has to offer.
As you just saw, the Core Unit Controller redefines open integration with standard Bacnet IP and MSTP. Core will also support LAN, S-Bus, thermostat, and sensor options, giving users plenty of options to meet their needs. LAN will remain optional and will attach with the same module used for Prodigy. Just as with Prodigy, the CS8500 remains our flagship offering for use with Bacnet or in standalone operation. Again, the takeaway that you should have here is that this product is incredibly flexible in a variety of applications and will work to make your open integration application work. Wanted to talk to some of the changes that are coming to our Bacnet interface. Again, this interface is standard and features 16 new points. These objects heavily emphasize Lennox's commitment to indoor air quality and sensor options with an added control points for the economizer. Support for the Prognostic and Diagnostic alerts that we will have in this controller is also supported through this interface. As with Prodigy, S-Bus sensors are supported for added flexibility within Bacnet, including the brand new wireless sensor that you saw. Finally, we have kept legacy points to ensure that Core easily integrates on replacement jobs. Here are a list of the brand new objects available through Bacnet. Next, I'll break down a few of these and what these mean for our users and integrators. While there are many different ways to utilize the brand new Bacnet objects in interface, I'm going to dive into 3 main parts. First, the brand new space humidity input. This allows the core unit controller to receive humidity inputs from centralized humidity sensors elsewhere in the building, facilitating globalized dehumidification operations or even humidity averaging. The new IAQ points allow remote control of demand control ventilation, network remote IAQ sensors, similar to the humidity case that I just laid out before, and provides monitoring for an additional IAQ input directly on the board. This improved monitoring and control should help in many IAQ-focused operations such as schools and gyms. For example, I could choose either CO or CO2 to drive damper operation and use the second IAQ input to monitor the other signal and provide that through the front end. Finally, the new Prognostic and Diagnostic alerts indicate specific component failures and remotely indicate what needs to be done to get the unit back to normal operation. This helps to reduce service costs and lower downtime. An example of these is telling you directly when the unit is either out of charge, when a compressor or a TXV has failed, rather than providing a freeze stat or low pressure alert indication. From a mode of operation standpoint, the core control system will support standard thermostat and room sensor modes. When using thermostats, the core unit controller is fully capable of modulating the variable speed compressor on Model L units. Doing so will allow for users to get better system efficiencies while still using simple thermostat controls. Tate laid a little bit of that out and how that works. It's definitely a differentiator in the product. When using sensors on the core control system, customers have much more options. The addition of 10K thermistor support, and additional IAQ input, and wireless sensor support makes Model L fit a wider range of specifications and replacement jobs. Now, we talked about the mobile app. I'm going to talk about some of the ways that you can interface with Core. As mentioned, the primary interface is the mobile app. It is fully capable of reading data, configuration, and setup of the unit. While we expect the mobile app to revolutionize the industry, we heard from customer feedback from some of you all, in fact, that having a backup was something customers wanted for peace of mind. The local interface on the M4 provides exactly that. It's capable of providing basic test and troubleshoot functionalities for the RTU. We already talked a little bit about the mobile app, so let's take a look at the local interface and what it can do. Other than providing basic status codes and errors, it also features a test button. This button can be used to place the system directly into a test mode of operation, and using the thermostat inputs on the core unit controller, a user could run a cooling, heating, or other system test. It can also commission a unit to thermostat mode temporarily while a building is under construction if the final controls are not set up. This was a key piece of feedback that we received from you and your customers while designing this new product. The heartbeat LED is also on this board, and it tells you, of course, if the system is powered. The board also has a reset button that can both clear delays, as with prior generations of boards, and is capable of performing a reset on the controller as well. All of these buttons, when pressed, show you immediate feedback on the screen, so it's clear to users what they are doing while they're working on the unit. At the end of the day, the mobile interface will be fast and simple, but the local interface has the tools to get you out of a tight situation. Thank you for attending our first ever virtual product showcase, and don't forget to stop by the Model L booth in the exhibit hall.